Have you ever had someone call and say, I need you to notarize an apostille? If you're new to that request, it might stop you in your tracks. I remember the first time I heard it, it sounded important, but I had no idea what they were really asking for. And here's the truth. Apostilles are one of the most misunderstood services in our industry. Notaries don't issue them. Apostille documents are never for use in the United States. They're strictly for international use. And unless you understand the rules, you can make some serious mistakes trying to offer this service. I'm Jennifer Cooper with JKC Mobile Notary. And in this Notary 101 video, we're going to break down exactly what an apostille is, why every country's process is different, what your role is as a notary, and where you can find reliable resources to learn more. So let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. An apostille is a certificate issued by your Secretary of State that authenticates a document so it can be used in another country. Think of it like a passport for paperwork, right? It tells foreign authorities, yes, this document is official and valid in the United States. And here's the key point. Apostilles are only for international use. If a client asks for one to be used inside the US, it's a clear sign they're misunderstanding the process. You'll see apostilles requested in many different situations: families adopting a child overseas, couples getting married abroad, students studying at universities in other countries, or businesses entering into contracts across borders. If the paperwork is staying inside the US, an apostille is never required. If it's crossing borders, that's when an apostille may come into play. So, where do we fit in? Notaries don't issue apostille. That authority belongs to the Secretary of State or the Department of State, but we can facilitate the process. That could mean notarizing a document before it's sent off. It could mean explaining the steps to your client and pointing them in the right direction. Or it could mean acting as the courier or facilitator, submitting and retrieving documents from the Secretary of State's office on their behalf. Your role isn't to give the final stamp, it's to guide your clients through a process that they usually know nothing about. Here's where things get tricky. Every country has its own rules for accepting documents. Some are members of the Hague Convention, which means the process is relatively simple. Once the Secretary of State issues the apostille, you're done. But not every country is a Hague member. For non-Hague countries, the process can be much more complex. Documents may need to be authenticated by several different offices, sometimes even by the U.S. Department of State or a foreign embassy. If you don't understand this difference, you could take on a job that seems simple, but turns into weeks or even months of back and forth. That's why education is so important before offering this service. So before you say yes to a client, make sure you, number one, understand your state's process and turnaround times. Learn the Hague versus non-Hague country differences. Use the correct language. Always say you facilitate apostille, never that you issue them. Stay extremely organized. You're usually handling original documents like birth certificates or marriage licenses, and clients are trusting you with items they can't easily replace. Now, if you're thinking, this sounds like something I'd like to add to my business, I highly recommend you study first. Two excellent resources that are available are the Apostille Agent Survival Guide by Matt Miller and Judy Lawrence, and Your Passport to Apostille by Bill Soroka and Judy Lawrence. Both are written by professionals who've done the work and know the pitfalls. I've linked them in the description so you can check them out for yourself. Apostille facilitation can be a valuable addition to your service menu. It sets you apart, opens doors with new client groups like attorneys and adoption agencies, and positions you as a person who can solve a problem that feels overwhelming to most people. But, and this is a big one, if it's only worth doing if you're committed to learning the right way. Guessing or rushing through the process can hurt your client and damage your reputation. Now, if you want to build your notary skills with confidence, join me for the Notary Workshop. Learn, grow, and connect on October 18th in Selma, California. We'll cover Notary basics, advanced services, and practical tools you need to grow your business. You'll also get the chance to connect with other notaries in our community. The registration link is in the description down below. Apostilles don't have to be intimidating. Once you know your role and understand the difference between Hague and non-Hague countries, you'll see why so many notaries choose to offer facilitation services. And remember, notaries never issue apostilles. We guide, we facilitate, and we make the process easier for our clients. This was not a deep dive into how to do an apostille, and I get that it's pretty surface level. But I want you to understand that it's an option for you, and I encourage you to get more training on it if it's something you want to do. Thank you for watching this Notary 101 video. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.